Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. The usual suspects are out en masse, gaslighting the fans, gaslighting anyone who will bother clicking on their website to run defense for anything and everything Disney Star Wars. And nothing should surprise you, especially when it comes to the Acolyte. And, well, like I said, the bought and paid for usual suspects, the shill websites out there. And none other than this CBR.com. Acolyte data suggests Star Wars series is a big hit, despite backlash, because, well, we said so. No data. Oh, well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But where's the gaslighting, you say? Let's keep going. Despite receiving a plethora of online backlash, which leads you to believe that, well, if there's a massive amount of online backlash and an audience score of 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, yes, I know Rotten Tomatoes is just the bastion of review aggregate websites, but hey, we use it to point and laugh. Again, I say that all the time, but it's a mild little bar to give you an idea of what to expect. Despite all of that, it's a massive success because we said so. Acolyte has been a success for the Star Wars universe. Press X to doubt. According to third-party data that we're not going to show you here, the Disney Plus series has performed well in terms of viewership numbers because, again, trust me, bro, analytics firm Real Good, never heard of them, which monitors viewing trends across U.S. streaming platforms, provided Screen Rant, oh God, another bastion of integrity, with an analysis of the Acolyte during its first 14 days on Disney Plus. Oh, so just the first 14 days. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as the time of this recording, we'll be watching episode 6 of The Acolyte. I'm so excited. Yay. Per the publication, the results indicate that the series is, quote, the second most successful in terms of streaming and engagement, outperforming the average top 100 TV shows by a factor of 6. I'm sorry. What other shows is it going against? Obi-Wan Kenobi holds first place as it outperformed the average top 100 TV shows by a factor of 8. What, are you including someone watching half a second of it? Anyway. The data provides a realistic look. Oh, I doubt it. Nothing realistic about those numbers. At the success of The Acolyte, which fell victim to review bombing. Here's where the gaslighting starts. Review bombing. Anytime, this is what they consider review bombing. Anytime you give a negative review of a show that they just absolutely have to love because they're Disney shills and bought and paid for usual suspects, then obviously it's review bombing because it has to be the bestest ever. You must, what is it? Don't ask questions, just consume product and get excited for next product. Well, please forgive me, but we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to judge it based on merit, based on writing quality, and the massive amount of plot contrivance, plot armor, nonsensical storytelling. It doesn't hold up to any sort of scrutiny, which is why you have the dismal 14% audience rating. Fell victim to review bombing following its debut. That's it. 5 installments into its run on the streamer. The series' Rotten Tomatoes critics score is still holding strong at 83%, because heaven forbid the critics will actually judge a Disney product based on the quality of the product, because they need their access. As a result, the show officially holds the record of being the Star Wars title with the lowest audience rating ever. Deservedly so. Absolutely deservedly so. The damage and the disrespect this show does to anything and everything that came before it is astounding. But here's where the fun part begins, because female-led Star Wars projects always receive backlash. Really. So we're not going to talk about any of the criticism for the male-led products. Obi-Wan Kenobi was garbage, but I guess that was female-led because Reva, and she's a black woman, because you didn't like Obi-Wan Kenobi because of Reva, and you don't like black women, you racist, misogynist pig, right? And Ahsoka was terrible only because you don't like women. You didn't like the Disney Star Wars trilogy because Ray Palpatine. My goodness. Or could it possibly be, over and over, one review after another, of each Star Wars product put out by Disney with specific instances of what was bad, why it was bad, how it could get better, with no mention of who directed it, who's starring in it, what they have between their legs, or the color of their skin, and yet you're going to sit there and, of course, attempt over and over again, and this gaslighting is not working, attempting to gaslight the audience into believing, the normies into believing that the only reason we don't like it is because there's a woman involved. No. The writing is just bad. The story is just bad. There's no interest. There's no characters. They're all just bad. One instance, one example after another. And yet the people who love this stuff, the people who enjoy or claim they enjoy this, can't give any sort of specific instances as to why they enjoy it. Because I've said that a few times. Tell me what's good about it. Tell us, instead of going on a 10, 15-minute video chastising channels like myself, individuals like Gary from Nerdrotica, as with Heel vs. Babyface, or The Critical Drinker, instead of chastising them and going after them of how, talking about how misogynist and racist and deluded they are and why they don't like Star Wars, how about you spend that time, take that passion, take that effort, and tell everyone precisely what was good about the show you just watched. And don't use vague words like intriguing, interesting, and God, for the love of God, don't even talk about the color of the lightsabers, please. Talk about the characters. What was good about the characters? What's good about the story? What's good about the world building? I dare you. Let's continue. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy was expecting a certain level of backlash, maybe because she knows what she's writing is garbage when the Acolyte was released, because it's garbage, as there had already been attacks on the show and its creator, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland. I said her name right that time. Good me. Ahead of its premiere, mainly because it didn't look interesting. Although people tried. I watched it. I'm going to watch the next episode tonight, as of the time of this recording. But we'll see how that goes. Yay. She attributed to the behavior to the predominantly male Star Wars fan base that tends to react more negatively to projects created by women, and those that focus on female characters. Well, now, see, there's a problem with that statement because, well, it's not true. There are numerous female-led projects across the entertainment industry that guys love, that guys dig wholeheartedly, and they're not always on that hub channel. It doesn't matter who is starring in the film. It doesn't matter who's directing it. It doesn't matter who's writing it. If it's good, it's good, and people will enjoy it, because all we want is to be entertained, to sit there and claim that the only reason we don't like it, even though we come out with videos over and over again, live streams reacting to this nonsense, is being rather specific on the things we don't like and why we don't like it, how we don't like it, and all of the above, and never once mention gender, race, ethnicity, anything like that. Sexuality, nothing. None of that is mentioned, other than, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland. But you do you, boo. Throw all the accusations you want, make all the gaslighting claims that you want, because more and more people are ignoring you. People are not as affected as they were 5-10 years ago, when accusations of misogyny and racism meant something. We know who we are, and we know what you're writing, and it's garbage. Continuing, operating within these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectations that we want you to write something good. That's what's terrifying. With social media and the level of expectations, we expect something to be written well. We expect some sort of meritocracy involved, not just they got the job because of what's between their thighs, or who they like to take to bed, or the amount of melanin content in their skin. We prefer someone who knows how to write, knows how to act, knows how to perform, knows how to build a world and construct a nice, interesting, relatable character, not in a superficial level either. Quote, I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. Maybe because she doesn't know how to write. I think a lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more. No, if they have talent, they won't struggle at all. Because of the fan base being so male-dominated. Again, lies and deceit and gaslighting. They sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. Leslie Headlamp gets attacked because she's an insufferable twat. And she says stupid things online. So people attack the stupid nonsense that she says online. Not necessarily her, although she is a former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein and had zero accountability for it, allegedly, but quite personal. Boo-hoo. Welcome to the internet as well. Let's see. With just a few episodes, thank God, to go before the Acolyte concludes its first season, its only season, those who enjoy the show, where, who, how, I'm looking for them. And I'm talking about people who've enjoyed the show that aren't content creators, that aren't bought and paid for shills with access, bought and paid for with access, Disney Star Wars shills, who will sit there and go, ooh, he Vadered. Ooh, look, it's red. I can't stand that. Tell us what you like. Tell us what's good about it. Have wondered if a second season was in the works. Heaven forbid. Headland recently addressed the possibility of a second outing, but said she would only consider if there is more story to tell. Is that a promise? Because no one's going to, well, people who need to add on to their apartments, or add on to your apartment, how do you do that? I don't think you can. Add on to their house or their Lego collection. Hey, we'll be making videos if you come out with a season 2. But hey, we actually got the Rey movie and the Mandalorian Grogu movie to look forward to. Isn't that going to be exciting? Quote, I think you should put everything you can into the first season, which means there's not going to be a second season, and give the audience a nice resolution, which means there won't be one, that feels satisfying. It won't feel satisfying, but enough nods to mysteries that you would want to see a second season. Oh, heaven forbid. Acolyte is streaming on Disney Plus with new episodes available weekly. There are 3 episodes of this nonsense left, and if you don't like it, you are a filthy, nasty misogynist that just doesn't like women involved in your fandom? In your fandom, we'll go with that. Anyway, how do you like this? Are you excited for the next episode or each episode of The Acolyte? Are you more excited to watch someone else talk about it? To watch someone else do a review or a live stream on it? Which one interests you more? The show itself or the coverage of the show? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things as YouTubers beg you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.